And we are live. Good morning, South Florida. Hello, world. I am Robert Henderson Jr., certified financial planner, certified tax coach. I'm the president, founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. I'm also the president, founder of the Henderson Realty Enterprises and also Henderson Insurance. We're a full service financial planning firm. We operate throughout the whole country and out of the country. We've been doing this for over 30 years. I founded the company, and I have a beautiful supporting staff, partners, I like to say, and they've been with me for more than 10 years. Um, we love what we do. We completely do a full service financial planning um, operation for you. You know, we basically we bring your future into the present. So we like to plant seeds, so to speak, and we do what we do, and we love what we do. We're a boutique type of firm, you know. Um, we have a lot of clients. That's because they stay with us for over the years because we're very personable, and we help you get your financial house in order. And we almost do everything in terms of financing. You know, we do mortgages also. We started that about a year ago. We used to do it 15 years ago, a lot of mortgages, but we got out of that. And then we came back because a lot of our clients needed help refinancing, buying buildings, or just leveraging. And today, that's what I want to talk to you guys about also is the power of leveraging. And I want to break it down to you like a 6-year-old. James T is not in today. As a matter of fact, he's on assignment. He's supporting Dozier and Mr. Dozier Urban Craft Academy. They're having their golf tournament every year. And we're after the show, probably about 12 o'clock noon. I'm going to go over there also. But James T is in the tournament. I had 4 seats because I sponsored, but I'm not a golfer, not yet. I tell people I think golf is a beautiful sport, but I haven't matured. I haven't matured to it yet. I figure once I get tired of doing what I'm doing, which I don't think that's going to ever happen, then I'll probably take up the sport of golf. But until then, I continue to do what I do. I love what I do. So James C, I'm gonna see him later on. Linda V Harris, my sister-in-law, she's also here with the Henderson Brothers Group. Linda's supposed to be trying to connect so she can come on and join me. If she does, I'll bring her from backstage. If not, then hey, you know, we'll continue on because I want to talk to you about some things that I think everybody needs to understand and everybody needs to know about. And it's called and it's leveraging. Leveraging. A lot of people don't know, understand the power of leveraging. Okay. I know it sounds like a fancy word, and some people I can hear you saying, "What you saying? What you talking about leveraging?" Good morning, Islam. Good morning, P. Parnell. Good morning, Brenda Brown. Gang's all here. Sorry, running a little late. But today I want to talk about leveraging. As a matter of fact, Islam, you got involved in it. P, I know you like to do leveraging, but a lot of people don't understand how to do it or even think about doing it or don't know how to use their assets to the fullest. And leveraging is basically a way of stretching what you have, using what you have to make it work. We have a program called Get Out of Debt, and we use leverage to get out of debt. And that's when you're using your money twice. You in order to use leverage, you really have to have something. You know, you have to have something, and that's right in tune with the universal law. You know, you have to, before you can get, you really have to give, and that includes to yourself. You have to give yourself something. You know, a lot of people just work and spend, and they give everybody else, the jeweler, the car dealer, you know, the clothing stores, you know, the shoe company, you know, the restaurants. People just give their money to them, but they don't. A lot of people, believe it or not, grown people, they don't think of themselves as giving themselves first, so paying themselves first. And that's one of the golden rules when it comes to financial planning, financial security, and prosperity, is paying yourself first, because you have to pay yourself. And people don't think about that. Like, who, me? No, I want to go out. I have some money. I want to spend it. I want to have some money. I want to go buy me a new car. I have some money. I want to go buy me some jewelry or whatever. When you're doing that, you really parting with your money and you're not leveraging it. So I want to spend some time today and break it down to you. And we're going to talk about different areas where you can leverage. I know we have great client. This week we help about leveraging, and they needed to borrow some money. And we told them, in terms of leveraging, we told them how to use their stock portfolio. A lot of people didn't know that you can leverage your stock portfolio, and you can leverage, not mutual funds, not ETFs, but stocks you can actually leverage. How you doing, Norvik and Jerome McMillan? Hey, how you doing, Jerome? And out there in Jerome, you're in Michigan. Yeah, good to see you, brother. Happy New Year to you. um, so I want to go over some so you can understand what leverage means. Leverage, like I said, it means that you can stretch your money, and most people don't know how to use their money twice, or don't know how to stretch the dollar, don't know how to make it do what it do. And that's because most of us has not been taught how money works, how the world works, actually. The political world, the business world, the tax world. We just haven't been taught that. But, it's not too late. I mean, if you're tuning in, that means that the creator of heavens and the earth, God, put you here. You're supposed to be listening to this. And as you listen to this, I also want you to be able to articulate this and regurgitate this to your loved ones, your families, and your friends, and get them to come in and also and listen to this also. Jerome said, Detroit in the house. Okay, how you doing, Mr. and Mrs. Redhead? Good to see you also. Y'all see I'm riding out solo. Linda was supposed to connect with me, but she having some kind of technical difficulty. James T is out. He's in the golf tournament that I sponsor, and I don't play. I sponsor because I like the program. That's the program with Mr. Dozier comes on from time to time, and it's that Urban Craft Academy where they teach people about construction. And my daughter and Antonio, they took that course, and it really changed their life. And I see the results of them taking that course. As a matter of fact, my daughter Jasmine, she's working in the field now. She wants to be a builder, and it teaches all about construction and property management. And now he has a course that's teaching people about electricity, about putting up drywalls. And you don't have to have any skills at all. You don't have to know anything about anything. I mean, you can just be coming out of prison, or you can be have a full-time job, but in the evening time from 6 to 9, you can go there and you can learn a trade, and it's absolutely free. I'm telling you, I've been down there, I've spoken, and it's amazing how much you can learn. And we should always be constantly learning. I don't care how old you are. You're 70, 80, 90 years old. Still, as long as you have a pulse, that means it's something for you to do. When you stop trying to do something, I'm telling you, you're getting to die, because your body, your universe said you say you're not needed anymore. You want to retire. But you always want to learn, and you want to continue to evolve, because you got to keep your brain cells moving and active. And that's something that I believe in wholeheartedly. Okay, so let's talk about leveraging. Now, I mentioned that we had a client that called this week, and he needed to get some money to fix up his property, and he needed it fast. So it's going to take a while, maybe take 30 days or 45 days to actually refinance or get a mortgage. So we told him about his stock portfolio, that he can actually leverage that. And he's like, "What you talking about?" I say, "Well, in the stock portfolio, they call it margin. Margin. It's another fancy word for borrowing against your portfolio. So let's just say he has $100,000 in his investment account, and he needs 50,000. Well, all you got to do is call up the investment house and say, "Listen, I need to borrow against my stocks. I don't want to sell my stocks." Because if you sell the stocks to get $50,000, then you got a capital gain, or you got to deal with the IRS and deal with your tax man or woman. And sometimes they don't know how to handle that. But rather than doing that, you can just say, "I want to borrow against what I have." But you got to have something. That's why I say, man, you got to have something. I want each and every one of us, you really, really got to start loving yourself more. And people think they love themselves because they go out and buy some clothes, and they go out and buy, some material stuff. But that's not loving yourself. Loving yourself is when you actually do something that's going to help you. Now, I'm not talking about material things that are going to help you and empower you to do what you need to do, get some things done. Okay. That's when you want to, that's when you're loving yourself and you're paying yourself so you can be able to have a better lifestyle, not only just now, but in the future. And that's how you love yourself. Really, really, we do. You should pay yourself. Everybody should say, did I pay myself this week? Did I pay myself? Or how much did I pay myself this month? And you should have a section when you pay the mortgage, when you pay the car note, when you pay your cell phone, when you pay your electric bill, you should say, hey, I'm paying Robert. And me, myself, y'all cannot believe how much I pay myself. I really do. Even though I get a salary from my own company, really I do. I do, but I take that money and I actually just, I invest it, and I'm constantly investing, man, and I don't look, when I get more money, I don't say what I'm going to spend it on. I say what I'm going to invest it on. I really, really do, Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to do another insurance policy. Why? Because there's another strategy that I can put money into this thing, and most of it just go for cash, and it's tax free, and the return on it is good, and it's never reportable, and then I have access to it, so I like that too. So anyway, so let's talk about leveraging. So this couple here, they needed to get money fast. So we told them, listen, you have money into your stock market, your investment, your Apple and your Google and your Amazon and all those other companies that you have. I said, all we have to do is just call up and say we don't want to sell our stock because we don't want to trigger any type of taxable event. So we just borrow against it. When you borrow against it, the investment house next day or 2 days later, they'll actually direct deposit that $50,000. So if you got $200,000 in the account, you can say, okay, I need to, and they don't ask you what you're going to do with it. They don't care if you're going to the casino, if you're going to buy a car, if you're just going to travel. They don't really care if you're going to fix it the house. They just say, hey, you're going to pledge your stock and you're going to leverage it. Okay, pledging it, meaning that you have something and then you're going to borrow against it. They don't ask you to fill out no loan documents, none of that kind of stuff. You leverage it. And we did the Islam. I see her. She's pretty excited about it because we did it for Islam, and she was real happy about it. She just posted there 6% interest too. Yeah, if it's usually lower than 6%, but rate's still kind of high. But normally you can leverage something, it only costs you 2 or 3%, and it's way cheaper a lot of times than a bank. And now they tell me, like, car loans, you go get a car loan, I don't care what your credit score, they charging you 7 and 8%. Some people are paying 10, 11%, for car loans. So if you loved yourself and you saved some of your money for yourself, and now when it's time, you don't have to sell your stocks, the stock will still be going up. You can actually leverage and borrow against that to take care of some household needs or whatever you need to do, kids in school or emergency medical stuff. They don't really care what you do with the money. Like I said, it's very convenient. And it's so many millions and millions of people, black, white, Spanish, all walks of life, have never heard of this. I didn't know anything about it, and nobody never told them. That's one thing about the world that we live in. It's like, if you don't know, you got to ask somebody. And a lot of people just don't even ask. And a lot of people think just because they don't know something, it doesn't exist. I am so excited about all the stuff that I don't know, because every time I learn something, I take a course, I go to a workshop or something. Every time I learn something, I always feel like, man, I should have known this earlier. So that just lets me know when I learn something, how much I didn't know. And then I think about, can you imagine how much stuff out here that I haven't learned yet and how much I don't know? And it keeps me excited and gets me going and makes me eager and thirsty. And that's why I continue. And I love what I do, because it's so much more and it's so much better. I don't care what situation you're in. You think you're doing it? No. You don't know. You ain't seen nothing yet. I'm telling you, I don't care how you think you're comfortable, whatever. You could be way more comfortable if you only knew. If you only knew what was out there. So you should always have your ears and eyes open. You shouldn't settle. You should always want to get the best, and always want to try to do your best. I always say, God gift to us is life. Our gift to God is what we do with our life. And I really, really, really believe that, because we are equipped to do way more than we even can think and imagine. We really, 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 really are. But you have to believe that. But I've seen it. And I've demonstrated it, because I came from the, Opalaka. I just had a mama who was a janitor father was a drunk in Chicago. You know, my mother left in the middle of the night because he was an abuser. I was 6 years old. So I looked around and I see how you can prosper and grow. And I'm a living proof of it. And that's why I tell other people, you can do it. I'm going to help you. You can do it. I'm going to show you, you know. And I truly, truly believe that, you know, I'm put here to go through what I went through and then to come back and then explain to you all and tell you all that there's more, there's better, there's good, and articulate it to you in a good way, you know, because I believe in strength in numbers. Some people believe and they don't want to be the only one. Me being the only one or anything, that doesn't make me feel good. When I go to top producers conferences and they invite me and pay for everything, and I look around, I don't see anybody that look like me, it really makes me feel bad, because I said, you know, more people should know about this kind of stuff. So that's why when I come back and I talk about these different things to give you ideas, it makes me feel good. And I hope you take advantage of it. And I hope you tell your loved ones also, because it's very, very important. We need each other, because if everybody is really doing what they're supposed to do, the world, I really think it'd be a better place. I think it'd be less theft, it'd be less crime. People wouldn't have to take anything, because you can earn what you can earn it. You know something, you know. Ignorance causes you to do a lot of things that you shouldn't do. Ignorance does, because you don't know. Okay. So, hey, Donna, how you doing? I had a good conversation with you yesterday. Okay, so leverage. So that's an example we use in Islam. I'm gonna tell you about it. She's really gloating about that, because they got the money. She got the money real fast, and they need the money to do some improvements, some real estate stuff that's gonna make her more money. So she didn't use the money to just go buy some material things. She used the money to make more money, and that's very, 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 very good. So that's one way. That's called leverage. So when I talk about this leverage, this fancy word, I want you to think about. Remember now, the whole a part of having leverage is you got to have something. You got to have something to trade, or you got to have something to barter against, or you got to have something to put up. You got to have something you have. It's something for you to do all the time. You know, leverage again. That's when we're talking about stocks. Leverage in real estate. A lot of people mismanage and don't understand how to leverage the real estate. Here, you may have a house that you poured all your money into, and you paid your house off. And now you live in paycheck to paycheck, or you're just barely making it. And now you have this house with these four walls, and it's worth $400,000, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, $1 million. And the money is tied up in the walls. And then you are just barely making it. But you have this money that you actually poured into, and now the value of it, because the appraised values went up, and you have all this money, and you just walking around, I guess, with your chest out. But that's a gross mismanagement of what you've been blessed with. I truly believe when you've been blessed to have something, you're supposed to try to work it the best that you can, or find how to work it even more. So you should be calling me, the Henderson Financial Group, and say, Robert, I have the situation. Tell me how to make it better. Or this is what I want to do. What should I do? You should ask that question. We all should always ask a lot of questions. That's one of my greatest strengths. About some peppermint tea. Pretty good for you. Peppermint green tea. That is good. We all should constantly. I'm just like a kid. I'm always asking a lot of questions. Even at my age now, 66, I ask a lot of questions. My wife Natalie tell you, she said, boy, you still ask a lot of questions. I do, because my mind is analytical, and I want to analyze why and how did this happen, and how did you do this. Don't ever bash away from being asking questions. Don't have that. Let me tell you something. Ego and pride will wipe you out. It's about you. When you at least 40 years old, you're supposed to say, I ain't playing no more. I need to find out. I was faking, but now I ain't faking. I'm going to ask everything and find out as much as I can find out. And you seek people who are knowledgeable, not who's just trying to sell you something, but really you should have this discernment in you, that you know when you can hear, like a dog whistle, you know when you hear the truth, you know. Now I'm gonna tell you something. You can't hear the truth when you're greedy. If you got a greedy spirit, you can't hear the truth. You don't have a gift of discernment, because you're just trying to take something from somebody. But if you have a pure heart and you really, really want to know, I promise you'll be able to recognize when somebody's shafting you, or trying to rip you off. Case in point, if somebody come to you, if you got a greedy heart, you're trying to get something for nothing, and somebody come to you and say, "Hey, give me $1,000. Next month, I'm gonna give you $100,000," and you part with your money, that's because you got a greedy heart. And that person that takes your money don't feel bad because he feel like you're a fool. How you think he don't even know you, and he tell you give him $1,000, he gonna turn into 100,000 next month, and you give him the money? He don't feel bad. He feel like you the fool because you think he the fool, and that's because you have a greedy heart. First thing you're supposed to say, "Now that don't make a lot of sense. I don't even know you. You're going to ask me for $1,000 and next month you're going to turn it into $100,000. Where your cousins? Where your friends? Are your friends rich? You do it for them first? I don't even know you." So that's the kind of stuff you need to ask yourself. But if you have a greedy heart, you're going to get got. And like I said, I know people that get people because they don't feel bad about it, because they feel like they are ridding the world of greedy people. And that's a warped way to look at it, but some people feel like that. Okay, back to leverage. Let's talk about leverage in real estate. Real estate, here you are sitting there, you rushing to pay off a house. First of all, who told you to rush to pay off a house? And when you rush to pay off a house and then you retire, how you gonna get the money out the walls? Because soon as you go, like, Lord Jesus, boy, if you have a house paid off and you done retired, and you try to go to a lending institution, a bank, they gonna ask you what color your drawers are. They gonna ask you all kind of stuff. They gonna ask, oh my God, and then they gonna look at you, and boy, they can discriminate against you. They can charge you high interest. Most of the time, they gonna tell you no, and if they do tell you yes, they gonna rip you to parts. If you don't have a job and you rushing to pay off your house, just think about that for a second. I was reading, I was just telling Norbert how in real life, a lot of people who are disabled lose their house. Why? Think about this. You're alone, you're grown, you're older, your kids are out the house, they barely making it. And you might not even have any kids. And you pay that house off because the system told you to hurry up and pay that house off. Now you become disabled. You need somebody to take care of you. Them nursing homes going to say, what do you have? See that? Everybody want to know what you have. They want to know in other words, how have you loved yourself? How have you treated yourself? Did you eat all your nuts? And surely, you're better than a squirrel, because we know that a squirrel gathers nuts to eat some now and save some later for the winter. Even a squirrel with a little bitty brain does that. And you're trying to tell me that you're not better than a squirrel? You're demonstrating that? You're just eating all your nuts, eating all your money. You get money, you spend it. You get money, you spend it, and you don't have nothing? Come on. That's what you're displaying to the world. You got to have something. But let's get back to paying off the house. You become disabled. You need somebody to take care of you. You don't have no cash because you put all the cash to pay off the house. And you're on fixed income from Social Security or something, hopefully. How they going to, it's tens of thousands of dollars. How they going to take care? Now you got to sign your house over to them. So people lose their house and pay for, and then go in a nursing home and turn the house over to the nursing home facility. And y'all have heard this a lot. That's what happens. You give up the house and then you turn it over to the nursing facility so they can take care of you and take care of your needs. Okay, that's it, because you cannot have a house and then have people taking care of you for free and they ain't getting paid back. They want to get paid back. All right. Another thing is, it's so much that I can tell you in terms of the disadvantages of paying off a house. Now, if you have equity in the house and you're over 62 years old, I really like this new reverse mortgage. I'm gonna tell you something. I done dissect this thing. I done look at this thing up and down and whatever. I done research it. I done travel. And I'm gonna tell you something. Wealthy people are doing it more than poor people or middle class people. Because middle class people, let me tell you something. The problem about being middle class. I'm gonna tell you the problem about being middle class. I ain't even talking about lower class, but the problem about being middle class is information. And I'm going to tell it to you. Most people who are middle class The only difference between them and a rich man is lacking of information. Yeah. Most people just don't know what they don't know. They don't know that you can do something else. Because reason why, because everybody around them that's probably in the same income level or in the middle class doing the same thing. You're just doing the same thing. I mean, just case in point, you can look at traffic at 3 o'clock anywhere in the country, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, anywhere in the country. The traffic, no accident, everybody doing the same thing, going 20 miles an hour. And going to work too. 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30, 9 o'clock. Everybody, every state, unless you're in some little rural town, but you're in any major state, everybody on that highway with no accident, moving like ants. Same thoughts, same consciousness, same everything. Do the same thing. Only that 5%ers. So 95% of people think and regurgitate and conform and do what everybody else do. You ask them, why are you doing that? I don't know, because they doing it. Why are you doing this? Because I'm doing it. Do the same thing. It's the same exact thing. So you don't really understand how money works. So if you want to break out of that, you need to get some information. First of all, you can call the Henderson Financial Group so we can tell you what the 5% is doing. I always wanted to be a 5%. I never wanted to do what everybody else was doing and get the same thing everybody else got. I didn't, because when I was younger, man, I wanted to go to Paris. I wanted to go to Africa. I wanted to just travel. I wanted to just not have money as a limitation. I just didn't. I wanted to be able to do whatever I wanted to do. I wanted to be free because I wanted to live. Then I wanted to explore, because most people spend all their life paying bills. And I think you just missed the essence of life. So in order to prevent that, you need information. You need to get around people who know something and find out what they're doing. And if you're shy and you're still around people who don't know nothing, you ain't gonna get nothing. So you got to ask questions. And that's why I'm gonna give out my telephone number right now. 305-825-1444. 305-825-1444. You give us a call, and I'm telling you, whatever situation you're in, we can help you better. We can tell you how to do it better, especially using leverage. Okay, so real estate, you want to use leverage. Think about this for a second. I'm gonna give you a leverage strategy in real estate. How a lot of wealthy people are doing it. So say your house is worth $600,000-$700,000. You done paid it off, and now your chest sticking out, but you ain't got nothing to show for it, just the walls. And hopefully a hurricane don't come here in Florida, because y'all know these things getting stronger with climate change. All right, it's better for you instead of having your money. Ooh, can you imagine have your house paid off and a hurricane come and blow it away? And you know how these insurance companies, God help you, they don't want to give you the market value. No. Okay, so it's better for you to have a defense and have risk management, meaning that you have this house paid off. You pull equity out. Now, I don't like pulling equity out with a bank, and then you have to have a monthly payment starting all back over. No. This new reverse mortgage, what happens is when you get 62 years old, even if you had, let's say, your house worth $600,000 and you owe $200,000, I still would do it. Okay. There's government program, the new reverse mortgage, where they'll eliminate your monthly payment. You don't have to pay the monthly payment until you're dead. And that's a good thing. Try to get it out of you when you're dead. It'd be hard to get a payment from you when you're dead. So that's good. Okay. So let's go back to this. So here's a lady who has a house and it's paid off and it's worth $500,000. I'm gonna keep it simple. It's worth $500,000. So she comes to me and I tell her, listen, you retired. You want to do some things. I'm gonna show you how to leverage what you have. So we do a reverse mortgage on her and we pull out $400,000. When she pulls out the $400,000 with the new reverse mortgage, it's a government program, she have no monthly payments. Can you believe that? So she still has the house. She lives in the house. And one of the requirements, you still got to live in the house. You can sell it. You can paint it. You can have a party in it. You can do whatever you want to. It's still your house, still in your name. The deeds still say you. But now they just gave you $400,000. What are you going to do with that for? And guess what? It's not taxable. So they give you $400,000. You could take that $400,000 and you can put it in an investment that's going to pay you $40,000 cash flow a year. So now you have your house, plus you have $400,000 You can put it in an investment that you can't lose nothing, and it pays you $40,000 every year. That's pretty good. That's over $3,000 a month more besides your Social Security. And you ain't paying no taxes. That's some good stuff. That's what you call leveraging. Now, if you're like, hey, Rob, but when I take that $400,000 out of my home, what about my children? When you die, them children they want to get that money too. So you need to get it now. But there's a strategy that we use. If you worry about the little children, the grandchildren, they ain't coming back to the house. First of all, they're going to sell that house and get the money when you're gone. But if you want to have something, what we'll do is we'll just put insurance on the house or put insurance on you. So when you finally die, the $400,000 policy will pay off the reverse mortgage people, not a house free and clear. So now you had your cake and eat it too. That's what you call leverage. A lot of wealthy people doing that all day long. Here you are, you sitting there with a house and can't do nothing with it. The money in the walls. And especially if Big Mama's 80 years old and she on fixed income, and she need a roof, she has that same old kitchen cabinets, the floor coming up, and you sitting there just waiting for her to die. Shame on you. You should be telling her, listen, Big Mama, we want to make your golden years golden. We want to show you how to do it, and then we'll put insurance on you, so when you die, then we'll get the house and we'll be able to do our thing too. That's leverage. That's leverage. But what stops you from doing it? Because you talk to another 95% and they tell you, girl, I wouldn't do that. Boy, I wouldn't do this. What I heard. The problem is, that's why I say the middle class, the problem is most people, 95% of people get information from the other 95% of people who ain't rich or wealthy. Think about it. Now, y'all know I'm telling you the truth. You ain't getting information from a wealthy person. You getting information from your cousin, your friend, your neighbor. That's who you getting information from. And that ain't no good information because they ain't got nothing to show for it. They ain't rich or wealthy. And I'm not talking about looking rich or what's the difference between looking rich and wealthy, having the shiny stuff. You name me somebody that got a whole lot of cars. I'd name you somebody who got a whole lot of bills, have a whole lot of auto insurance policy payments, have a whole lot of tune-ups, have a whole lot of oil changes. That's taking money away. That's a liability. That ain't smart. You should be looking for the dude who got the little push buggy, who got the little regular small car. That's the gold. That's the golden goose. Now, all that shiny stuff, man, you get to a certain age, man, you're supposed to be over that. You was like, that's a trick. All that shiny, looking like Mr. T walking around here. That fool ain't got nothing. Come on, he trying to lure you. All right, let me get back to leverage. Okay, so that's a leverage on real estate. You can leverage that. You can actually leverage that, Big Mama. You can actually pull money out the walls, have no monthly payment, and go and buy some more real estate. You can buy real estate. Listen, there's some property that I went to. Me, James, T. Antonio went to a place called Perry, Georgia. Okay, over about Fort Valley. Warner Robins. Man, the houses here in South Florida, you can find a house over there for $200,000 that you have to pay $500,000 here in South Florida. Now, yes, you do. And I drove there. People were they can't believe. My daughter Heisey said, Rob, Henderson, I can't believe you're going to drive to Perry. I said, I always fly out of time. So I need to do a little scenic road drive, So I did. And it was a nice drive. We had conversation, me, James, T. Antonio. It was really good. Sometimes you got to get out and just drive, and we left. And it was, once you get past Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, it's easy selling. Once you get past all that traffic, it's easy selling. And it was really nice area, nice. And a lot of you all who are stuck in your house and this homeowner's insurance costs so much and the taxes cost so much. I don't know. You only got one life. I don't know what you're holding on to. You can move, make the world your home. There's different places around the country where you can have a whole better lifestyle. Your dollars can go further. Leverage your dollars. I mean, really, really, really. I mean, my house in the Pocono Mountains, that's in Pennsylvania. That's when I fly into New York. It's like an hour and 20 minutes from George Washington Bridge. And nice scenic area. So I just refabbed my house. I got that house. I bought it from Heavy D before he died. That was in the year 2000. Yeah, I had the house 24 years. Anyway, so I just refurbished the house, did the kitchen over, do the balcony over, do the deck over. I did just the roof over, did everything, right? And then I said, okay, I got to get some insurance on this property because I done did all this stuff. And I made one phone call. The guy said, Allstate. He says $3,900. I said, what's $3,900? What do you think? You just Florida? This ain't Florida. It's Pennsylvania. It's the Poconos. And he says, okay, I could get something for you for like 1994. That's still 2,000. So I hung up from that fool and I let my fingers and did my research, call around. I wound up going to Travelers and got a policy for $1,000. I like that. That's leverage. I have to insure the property because the property is valued a lot. And I'm gonna go up there and go skiing up there and get away and read and that kind of stuff. And then I think I'm probably Airbnb it now because I've had it for a long time, 24 years, and I never Airbnb it. So I want to make some money. I want to leverage that. Okay. But I don't know why I started talking about that. I think I was talking about leverage and costing. Yeah. So you could actually, if whatever you have right now, it's very small. A lot of wealthy people taking money out of their home, not paying no mortgage, using that money to buy other real estate assets and get more cash flow. And then they put insurance to insure just in case you die, everything paid off. And you create more of a net worth for your family and your legacy. That's how you do that. Another way of leveraging, I leverage life insurance all the time. I'd say I'm getting ready to get another life insurance policy. I leverage it all the time. So I'll put $50,000 in a life insurance policy, cash value. And that term, okay, let me tell you all, when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I bought term and I invested the rest. But I really didn't invest the rest. I bought term because it was damn cheap. All that buy term and invest, anybody invest in the rest. People keeping that money and living up and having a good time. When I was in my 20s, I just wanted to be covered because I had 2 kids at 23 years old. Yes, Hyacinth and my son Robert. 23 years old, I had 2 kids. So I had time to play. I was no more partying for me because I didn't want to be in poverty and I didn't want to do what everybody else do, have no money. So I said, okay, let me start reading. I ain't had 22 years old. I didn't wear glasses. I said, let me start reading. I ain't playing no more. And I know my daddy was drunk. I wasn't getting no inheritance. So I seen the writing on the wall. So I was a little different. I was proactive. So I bought term and I bought a 10-year term. I think $1 million policy cost me like $200 for the whole year. And I'm like, oh, that's good. If I drop dead, kids taking care of $1 million, 10 years went by. Remember, I was paying $200 a year. 10 years went by. So $200 times 10 years, I gave up $2,000. 10 years went by. I still was alive. I'm like, damn, I like this, but my money gone, but I didn't die. The problem was I didn't die. Not really a problem because I was glad I ain't died because I wouldn't have been here right now. So I was in my 20s. So the time I got 30s, I had to renew that policy because it just go poof. That's what term insurance. It's temporary insurance. You can't leverage off that. There's nothing. You don't have nothing. When you're paying your premium, you can't go say, hey, I give a life insurance, give me some money off that. No. That's like renting a car. It ain't your car. You renting life insurance. You renting a policy. It ain't your policy. And when that time up, you don't have no more insurance. The problem with the second time I renewed it again. And I did another 10 years. This time it didn't cost $200 a year. It was like $500 a year because I was older. So it's $500 a year for $1 million policy. I said, okay. 10 years go by. I still was alive. And damn it, I was trying to stay alive. I was doing my annual checkups. I didn't run in front of the car and on the street. I didn't get drunk, get crack or nothing like that. And I was trying to stay alive. And let me tell you something. When you buy term, you helping the insurance companies because you're trying to stay alive. They hoping you don't die and you hoping that you don't die either. You're trying to stay alive. So if you're trying to stay alive, you helping them because when the term ends and you still alive, bets off. They got your money. They're gone. You have no insurance. Isn't that something? That's the way term right. The problem with term is staying too long. Term insurance is supposed to be short term. That's why it's called term. The problem is a lot of people selling this Primerica and all this other kind of term life insurance, which is the most profitable product for insurance companies. It's like selling crack. They make a lot of money off of it. It's going to kill you in the and it's not going to be worth nothing in the long run. Matter of fact, their payout is less than 1%. They take in $2 trillion a year in term policies and premiums. They don't pay out nothing because people do like I did. When I ain't die the second time, I said, hold on. I'm paying $500. That's $5,000. 10 years, I'm still alive. I ain't got no more insurance, and I'm older. I was like, oh, that's got to be a reason why they have this expensive cash value policy. And then I started doing more investigating. And I said, damn, why everything good costs more? Why everything good is a trade-off? I don't care what it is. You can't find nothing that's good that ain't a trade-off. You got to sacrifice some kind of way. You can't even get to heaven without sinning. You got to, there's a trade-off. And there's a reason why if you put in on a term insurance, $1 million policy costs $500, or a cash value $1 million policy costs $5,000, people are gonna go for the low hanging fruit, $5,000. If you die, you get $1 million either way. But there's a catch. If you don't die in 10 years or 20 years, and there's a lot of people that call my office, they're 70 years old. And they said when 40 years old, they bought a 30-year term. They thought they was gonna be dead. When they was 40, they thought they was gonna be dead by the time they turned 70. They paid all that money for 30 years. And between 40 and 70, they didn't die. And here they calling me because they say, Henderson, I can't get insured no more. And I say, why? They said, because between 40 years old to 70 years old, I done had a bypass, a triple bypass. I done had prostate cancer. I licked it. I'm still around. I done gained all kind of weight. I used to be skinny. Now I'm fat. I got all kind of issues. My knees hurt. Well, I can't hardly get no insurance now. I say, well, I can get you insurance, but you're 70 years old and your health is not good. You spent all the good health time paying term insurance from 40 to 7. Now you 70 years old and you ain't got nothing. What are they gonna do? What kind of fund they take up? A GoFundMe? So I said, listen, let me try to get you something. So I had to find a company, which there is a company. There's always a company, but he's 70 years old, almost dead. So that $100,000 policy may cost him $6,000 a year. So you think about it. In 10 years, he would have given up $60,000. But if he died in 10 years, his loved one get $100,000. He's still ahead of the game. You know what I mean? So he probably gonna have to go 9 years now in order to equal the. But the good thing about it is, in 10 years, he paying $6,000 a month, $6,000 a year. In 10 years, he would have given up $60,000, but it's not a term; it's a cash value. At least he's looking there, and he has $40,000 in the cash that he can have access to. But he still got a $100,000 policy. That's still better. This kind of stuff I have to deal with. People done sold people term insurance. So I like cash value insurance. Cash value means that the way I use my cash value is I don't have a retirement account. In other words, I don't have 401k. I don't have none of that kind of government silly stuff because it's hoodwink. It's man, I tell you, I can tell you so much about them. Now, if you do have a 401k, just put it into the match because that's free money. After that, don't put it. They match you 3%, you put in 3%. Don't be putting all that money in there because the government is going to take it back out and they're going to take all the profits out. And they're going to penalize you if you're 73 years old and you don't take it out. They're going to make you sell that stuff and take it out. So it's too much government control. And wealthy people don't like government control. I don't know what's going on with this new Republicans. They just want to be government. But that's not how the Republicans was. It was like government, forget you, no government. Democrats is all in governments. But now this thing done switch swap, just like climate change, just all off whack. So I don't know. I don't even know who's going to win this election. But I don't damn it care. I really don't. I shouldn't say I don't care. I really do care, but I can't do anything about it. I have to look at God, universal life, and see which way this thing is going. But however it's going, I'm going to survive. Why? Because I understand the principle of how the world works, and I understand how to work with money. And that's why I want you to understand how to work with money. Yeah, I got who y'all know who I'm going to vote for. Y'all already know it. I ain't got to say it. Y'all already know who I'm going to vote for. I don't have to say it. You know who I'm going to vote for because I ain't no fool. Okay. So leverage insurance. How do I leverage my insurance? How do I leverage cash value life insurance? I like the Indexed Universal Life. Why do I like the Indexed Universal? I think the Indexed Universal Life is one of the greatest products ever invented in the financial world. I really, really do. The problem with IULs, Indexed Universal Life, is a whole lot of people are selling it right now, and they selling it wrong. It's like costume jewelry. It's like fake jewelry out there now. all IULs, they call them IUL. It's like, you a watch, you get it from somewhere from down in the hood, or get it on Canal Street, and it says a Rolex. It ain't really a Rolex. It looked like a Rolex. So IUL, see, every time something come out, people do knockoffs, lookalikes, seemingly, So now the whole buzzword with Index Universal Life, that is a fantastic product. But now it's all on Instagram, people selling it and telling you all about it, and people want but you always got to do things proper. So let me break it down to you in terms of leveraging the IUL, Index Universal Life. IUL, Index Universal Life, is a life insurance policy that was actually created and designed for cash value buildup. I want to say it again. The Index Universal Life, the IUL, is an insurance policy. The strategy behind it was, can the insurance industry create a product that's just not for death, but for accumulation? And they said, yes, we can build an insurance product not just designed for death, but designed for cash accumulation, and really build it up. And there's a way to take it out tax-free, like a Roth. Yes. And you also have life insurance. But the main thing in an IUL is cash accumulation. How much money you can put in there. How to get as most money into that policy that the government, IRS, will let you before they say, nah, y'all trying to be slick. Okay? That's what an IUL is. So anybody listening to me, anybody that sees me, and you say you have an IUL and you tooting and you putting the minimum in, you ain't working it right. That's like you have a jet fighter plane and you driving it on I-95. You're not using it right. That's not what you can't. If somebody say, what's the minimum I can pay for an IUL, you in the wrong area. It's not the minimum. The whole thing about an Index Universal Life is how much money. I want to put a lot of money. Where can I put a lot of money somewhere? That's an IUL. It's not where can I put, what's the least I can buy an IUL? Oh, you had the wrong product. That's not what it's designed for. That thing that's a turbo thing. That thing is designed to take off. You got to put 25, 50, 100, 200,000 a year, $1 million a year. That's IUL. That's how if you really want to see it do what it do, that's what an index IUL. So any of y'all if anybody sold y'all on Instagram or any insurance company showed you, because they know you wanted an IUL, because you've been hearing about IUL, LUL, IUL, and you paying the minimum. If you're paying $100 a month for IUL, you got the wrong product. If you're paying $200 a month for an IUL, you got the wrong product. If you're paying $300 a month, you got the wrong product. No, you have to put, that thing is designed to receive a lot of money so it can do what it do. Because on an IUL, like last year, I got like 9.5% on mine. That's growth. That money, the money that's in there. I'm getting ready to buy another one. Why do I have to buy another one? Because once you design it, if you design it and say, okay, I want to put $70,000 every year into this plan. So you can't next year say, I want to put $100,000 in that same plan. No. You design it for $70,000. Next year, now you got to get another one. So now I want to put in $50,000 a year. So that a cap, you can't put no more into that one. If all of a sudden you win the lottery and you got $1 million, you can't put them in those plans. You got to open up another one because they're designed. Think about an index universal life is like going to a mechanic, and your mechanic Bob, he knows how to put more Hemi in this race car, make it go fast. He knows how to tweak it. That's how you have to do an IUL. An IUL, you can tweak it to make it go slow, make it go fast, make it get more life insurance, make it less life insurance. And what I like about it, they have living benefits, meaning that when I put money into my cash value life insurance, I have leverage, because the death benefit that comes with it, I can use it if I don't die as a long-term care policy. Yes, if long-term care come before I death, I can use that policy now. If I get a heart attack, minor heart attack, mass heart attack, any critical illness, any chronic illness, cancer, anything, I can tap that. I don't have to take the cash out of the policy. The death benefit, they give me the death benefit while I'm alive. And that's some good stuff. So it's a lot of things like a Swiss Army. And there's a lot of things you can do with an index IUL, but you have to understand it. If you really want to understand it, you call me and I'm going to break it down to you like a 6-year-old, 305-825-1444. Now, how do I leverage that? Why would I put 50, 60, $100,000 a year into a cash value life insurance? Because that's like my bank. Because I never have to pay tax on it. It's not even reportable on income taxes. I'm putting money in there. And as I put money in there, good thing. Let's say I have $1 million in there. And all of a sudden I see a piece of property for $500,000. They ain't gonna touch my money. I'm gonna use leverage. The insurance company gonna say, whatever cash value you have in your policy, you ain't got to use it. The insurance company gonna give you their money. And they don't give you their money not at 6%. They'll give you the money at 4%. 4%. Where can you get right now money at 4% to go do whatever you want to do? That's why I like it. It's access to capital. But you always got to have something. You can't be broke talking about you want to borrow or leverage. What you got to show? Come on, we grown. You got to do something. You got to stop playing. I'm telling you, all this material stuff listen, soon as you find out that material stuff change and fade away and become nothing, you should be on to something. You really should be on to something. Because everything that you can see, touch, feel is going to get old. So you can't just put your money in that unless it's real estate and it's growing. But if it's on material things like a car, that deuce and a quarter ain't the deuce and a quarter like it used to be. I'm telling you, it's not. That car that you just couldn't help, that Tesla that you just had to have, what do you think how the Tesla gonna look 5 years from now? You put all your money right now. You spending your future dollars today. No, you got to invest your future dollars for tomorrow before they come out the ground. You can't spend what you want to achieve tomorrow now. You got to invest that. This is the lesson. I'm not trying to preach to you. I'm just trying to give y'all some food for thoughts so y'all can think about it. There's so much I need to talk to you all about. Especially about these trusts, these living wills, and about these estate planning and probate and all that kind of stuff. I really need to break it down to you all because there's too many people out here that's losing property because of Big Mama didn't have a will, or didn't have a trust, or didn't have a ladybird deed. They don't understand it. So I think next week I want to talk more about that because there's so many that's coming to my attention. Not having the proper estate planning. Not having it properly in terms of how to dispose of your property and what's the best way to do it. It's so many people, man, that have that problem. Not a week goes by that I don't have to talk to someone about them and help people. And I don't want you to feel bad. It's not your fault. It's just that you haven't been exposed. Exposure is something, man, but you can't lie and lay back and not ask questions. You got to put your hand up. When you get to I can tell you, when you get past 40 years old, you're supposed to wave your hand up and say, listen, I ain't playing no more. This life is serious. It really is, because you kind of be on your own. You got to have some people or somebody that you can talk to privately, professionally, who's going to really tell you like it is. And that's what we do at the Henderson Financial Group. You can go to our website and check us out. It's www.the, got to put in the THE. Henderson Financial Group, because we're the HendersonFinancialGroup.com. So www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. And look at our website. It's a whole lot of information that you can learn and educate yourself. And then you can always call. You can do a Zoom, set up an appointment and say, I want to talk to Mr. Henderson about some private stuff, education, college, retirement planning. We're really, really big on retirement plan. Most people have the wrong type of retirement plan. They have the wrong type of annuities. They have these variable annuities. But you don't really know because they don't break it down to you. They just sell it. And they come out to the school and they just sell you anything. You just go with your friends and everybody doing it and you doing it. It might not be for you. Plus, you need to see exactly what's going on. So I'll break it down to you like a 6-year-old and explain it to you, okay? Remember, call 305-825-1444. I'm here on Saturdays also. So you don't have to drive down or, dealing with that traffic. Is, I'm telling you something, in all the world, my pet peeve is traffic. I just don't understand, especially when there's no accident. Everybody just goes slow and everybody conform. I've never got in the car and didn't have to go somewhere. I'm always trying to get in the car and get somewhere. So many people get in the car and just play on people now. This is what they do now. This is people now. This is the position people drive in the car now. This is the position for the car now. This is the position. Grown people used to be kids, but you got old people. And then you look around and it's 10 car links in front of them and they don't give a damn about you. And they got a whole caravan behind them. They don't care. That's why I don't want to be next to them. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to be in that area. I don't. So I make sure I don't get in that traffic. And when I do get in the traffic, if you're in the car with me, oh my God, God help you. All right. I hope I didn't bore you. I hope you guys learned something, but there's a lot of things I still need to tell you. So I want you to continue to tune in and spread this information because there's a lot of stuff you don't know. I think next week, y'all remind me, I'm going to talk about estate planning, wills, trusts, living wills, health surrogates, why they're important. And one of my favorites is Ladybird Deed, because it's you can accomplish so much and forget about that probate and lawyers and all that. It only costs about $100, $125 for a piece of paper. So I'm gonna show you about that, and I'm gonna tell you the difference between a quitclaim deed and a Ladybird Deed, and how. Yeah, I got a lot of stories to tell you about experience, what's happened to families, what happened to people, and how to use it. It's just one guy. It's one guy out west. Me and another person was buying land out there, and we was buying this property, buying next door, buying everything up next door. And this one guy, his daddy said he was gonna sell that, for $40,000. But the old man died, and his son said, "Hey, my father said he's gonna sell it to you for $40,000. It's vacant land." He says, "Now I want to sell it to you for $95,000. We're like, "Well, your daddy said he's gonna sell it to us for $40,000, but now he died. Now you gonna take it over since you already knew, and you want to sell it to us for $95,000. So I said, "Damn. We need that track." So I said, "Okay, let's do it." So then he comes back and says, "Listen, I want to sell it for $95,000 to you guys, but on the record, I want to show like I sold it to you for $10,000. I said, "Why you want to do that?" He says, "Because he don't want to show that he sold it for $95,000, because then he got to pay taxes on it, the tax on it, doc stamps." And I said, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Since your daddy left it to you, it's a step up. So you don't have to pay tax on it, because whatever the market value is, that's what you sold it for. So ain't gonna be no taxes." He said, "What? Okay, thank you for that information. So now I want to sell it to you for $125,000. And that's something that is a trigger there. That little trigger said that to me. That's what he said. So I said, goodness gracious. I gave him some information. He used it against us because he wanted us to do some illegal stuff instead of selling it for $95,000 so we can have on the books $95,000. He wanted us to put on the books that we bought it for him for $10,000. That hurts us because if we bought it for $10,000, if we ever sold the property for $9,000, then we got to pay capital gains on it. But why would we say that we sold it for $10,000? That's cheating the government. That's cheating everybody. You never win on that. I'm telling you. So I told him a way how it's called step up. His step up means that when he inherited, whatever the market value on that day of death, that's what the value of. So he don't have to pay taxes because his father bought it a long time ago. No, that's called a step up. Man, there's so much I could tell you guys and go over with you, but I'm running out of time. And y'all, I can go from this subject to that subject, this other, because I've been doing this stuff for over 30 years, and it's all I do. I love it. I don't know how to do the line dance. I cannot do the wobble. Okay. I don't know when watching football. I don't know that college player where he went to college from. I don't know no stats. I don't know none of that kind of stuff. All right. But I do know how money works and about investments and stocks and bonds and financial planning. I do know about that. That's all. That's what I do. I do that, and I travel and I take care of my family, and I take care of my health. I ride my bike. I go to hot yoga, and I play the piano. Okay. So that's what I do. And that's what I focus on. And I love you all. And I want you all to love. And I want you all to love yourself. Pay yourself first. All right. But listen, I got to go. It's after 10 o'clock. Be safe. Be healthy. Peace and love. Until we meet next week. Take care of yourself. Got to go. Hope y'all enjoy that. Donna, talk to you later.